This is the MLW Radio Network.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 60 of Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I am your tour guide, Josh Shernoff, and he is the one, the only, the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
Oh, man. Doing pretty good, man. We had a nice little chat pre-record with our Patreons.
Love our Patreons.
It's a beautiful Friday night. I got the window open. Plenty of ventilation so I don't suffocate myself. Got a fan blowing my way this way so it blows out the window. So
Nice. Does that fan have a name?
It's my only fan.
Oh.
No, but it's a pretty nifty little gimmick. It's specifically made for studios, so it doesn't hopefully it doesn't get picked up. But it's not.
I'm not hearing it at all. That's awesome.
Yeah. But no, man, I'm doing good, man. Excited. Had a little bit of a scare with, I was out doing errands and Mrs. Meanie goes, I think we got family to the house. And I was like, oh. So I come home and our good friends who are doing our buddies, our wrestling buddies, the Gator brothers?
Gator. I thought it was Gator for the longest time. It's Gator.
The Gator brothers sent me a very nice care package. And I think you got one too?
I did.
Yeah,
and,
so nice.
I felt like such like a... So I contacted them to make sure that you got one as well so that we could talk about it. Because I thanked them. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I was like, and Meanie got, like, the way I worded it almost seemed like I was like, did you send one to Meanie? Like, I definitely meant, like, if Meanie's hasn't arrived yet, like, I don't want to ruin the surprise and, like, bring it up to him. But it definitely seemed like, yeah, in what scenario are they giving it to me and not giving it to you? So, but it was
story of my life.
It was really, really, really cool of them. It's like this gift basket where even down to the basket is hand woven. This is an awesome basket. And then inside there's like raw honey and what else do we have? Bourbon, I want to say.
Hold on. What is that liquid? That they send in the care pack. Was it whiskey? Rye whiskey.
Rye whiskey. That's what it was? Man.
Yeah.
So
Mrs. Meanie made a joke saying, it's nice that they sent me this basket because she's going to steal all the stuff.
It's all food. What the fuck are you going to do with honey and maple syrup?
there was maple syrup too.
But what was really cool, I don't know if they did this for you, but like mine had like a nice little blue bow on it. And this is for the Patreons. All the polka dots on there had Meanie glasses.
They did not do that for me. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
They kind of like Philly Fanatic eyes on it too, but
they
really hooked it up.
What a sign that you're working with the right people. And not just because they gave us stuff, but because like the extra detail they've gone into with everything has been awesome.
Yeah, man. And there's just a nice little, I'll show this for the Patreon folks. Yeah, the honey, the rye whiskey.
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup. I guess they're right on the border of Canada, so everything's legit.
Well, that's the thing. All of it, they all came from like local little places up there, which is so cool.
Love it. I was joking that we should send them some tasty cakes or something.
Yeah. Some delicacy from...
How do you pack a cheesesteak?
It's, you know what though? I'm so excited to be working with them, and so excited to be there, and so excited that we finally have the opportunity to tell everybody just
so
exactly what is happening. So, all right, big news. Starting on May 18th. Well, that's breaking news, but yes, starting on May 18th. Big breaking news.
My birthday.
May 18th, the Meanie's birthday. The Mind of the Meanie Buddies, that's myself and Meanie, as individuals and together, will be available on the site for pre-order. But they have a lot more to tell you. The Brothers Gaddar studio and storefront are honored to host the Meanie and Josh for our very first buddy signing event. Obviously, I'm not speaking of us in the third person. I'm reading what they wrote. So we're going to be spending the day with them in Port Henry, New York on August 7th, 2021. We will be available throughout the day for in-person and virtual live meet and greets. So there'll be tickets to the event. Will go on sale at the same time, and will include exclusive and live signings of the Blue Meanie and Josh Shernoff collector wrestling buddies, the Mind and Body sticker, which is made to look like Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is amazing. The Blue Blot 8x10 original art print that they created.
That's so cool.
They also created the sticker. A recording of the meet and greet if it's virtual, and photos with your personal camera if you're in person. So if you're in town, you know where we're all going to be. More info will be coming soon, but Port Henry, New York, at the Brother Gaddar, I hope I'm saying their name right, Gaddar Studio and Storefront. We will have more information on our social media at Mind of the Meanie, and go give them a follow as well. But man, I am so excited for this, and excited we can finally announce that we will be having our first live in-person meet and greet. And I can't, I'm looking at like our Patreon members. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you how far that is from any of you, but definitely.
I'm looking up to see how far it is from Philly.
I want to say about 5 hours.
That's a breeze.
Yeah.
I can do that.
I'm glad you can, because you have to on August 7th.
5 hours
you're booked,
and
Terry.
34 minutes. Yeah. 5 hours and 34 minutes. Oh, dude, that's nothing. I'm excited, man.
Yeah, we're gonna load into the Mind of the Meanie van, and
the Meanie Mobile. Yeah, man. And it'll be fun. Working with quality people here. And it's another bucket list moment, man. I've always wanted an action figure. Now I get to have a wrestling buddy.
Yeah,
how cool. How cool is that?
It's incredible. And on top of that, the artwork is insane. They're so talented.
Dude, they're so artistic. And very thoughtful too, man. Especially with the care package they sent us.
Yeah, the care package was not necessary. Much appreciated. Definitely made my wife
not cheap.
Jealous.
And not cheap.
No, not cheap. Like it was. It means a lot that they are as excited to work with us as we are to work with them. Really, really cool, and definitely check them out on social media. I want to make sure I'm going to look up, because I want to make sure that I get their handle right.
I dare you, man. I dare you.
Yeah.
I dare you to get it right. Why do I hate you, man? What's your deal? Me and you.
Well, here it is. At Brothers Gaddar. Gaddar?
Gaddar.
They got some real gaydar. It's just two brothers who sit there and go, I think that guy's gay. That guy's not. That guy's not. He's not. He's not that one. Yeah. No, she's gay.
Yeah.
The brothers gaydar.
Yeah.
God. All right. Brothers Gaddar. I'm trying to course correct so much from calling them Gator.
Yeah.
That it's all coming out wrong.
Steve Wally Gator Kern.
But yeah, it's Matt, Mike, and Justin Gator. I quit.
gigs off. They're tearing up the contracts. They're sending stuff so we can send our care packages back. You fucked up, Shernoff.
Gatter. We're calling him Gatter, okay? We are brothers, artists, vintage toy collectors, and wrestlers. Doesn't matter where you start as long as you never stop. That's from their at Brothers Gaddor, Gaddor.
Are you sure?
I'm sure about the spelling. RJ says, where is it? It's in Port Henry, New York. See if I have the exact address on their website. Let's find out. Oh,
looks like
there you go. Shop. Is that their shop or is that? I don't know.
Looks like a nice little town there.
It does. I'm excited to go there. If they'll still have me.
Too funny.
Yeah. So no, but they're yeah. I mean,
they're throwing our wrestling buddies in the trash.
Yep. Like, oh, screw that. Nobody
Show's
needs
over.
that. Yeah.
They're going to have the guy who replaced me at the TNA ECW show come up instead. Whatever his name was, the Blue whatever, Blue Tilly. The Blue Tilly's going to.
But yeah, thank you to Brothers Gaddor.
Not to be confused with Lou Tilly, who was in Philadelphia Sportscaster.
Yeah. Everybody knows that.
Of course. Why not?
Yeah, RJ says he thinks it's on the Vermont
Google
border.
it.
That sounds about right. I think it is.
So
just under 5 hours from you, RJ. Well, then I better see you there. But here's the thing. Look, we have a lot of listeners outside the U.S. or, not within driving distance of this place. We're doing a virtual meet and greet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you're planning on getting these buddies anyway, and you can't be there, do the virtual meet and greet at least. At least you'll get a video of us hanging out, and you'll be able to see us signing the buddies or whatever it is that we're doing, and it'll be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to this.
Very excited. Because, with the pandemic, it's like I'm so used to traveling and going to Eagles games and going to, Connecticut, see my, Mrs. Meanie's family, and just like everything got shut down. But we're vaccinated now, thankfully. And, this is going to be in a couple months where, hopefully the world's along better than it was today.
Yeah. And now we're hearing that, the CDC is saying you can lose the mask if you're fully vaccinated, inside, outside.
I kind of wish they would have held off on that because, there's going to be people, oh, yeah, I got the vaccine, wink, wink,
So here's my feeling on it. I think my thought was the reason they were doing it was for the people who won't get a vaccine to kind of just be like, hey guys, those of us who got a vaccine now get to take our masks off, and we know how much you don't like those masks. So why don't you go get your vaccine? But I agree with you completely. What they're not factoring in is the people are going to go, hey, I got my vaccine. Because here's the thing. There are some aspects where they can say, like cruise ships, right?
Right.
You have to be vaccinated. The cruise ships that have opened up, you have to be vaccinated. You have to show proof of vaccination. But if you're going to, Walmart, they're not going to make you show proof of vaccination walking into the store. So I feel like, I don't know. It's the Jericho cruise. It's funny. They're doing their thing in October, and they said now everyone has to be vaccinated. And all of a sudden, the sold out Jericho cruise just got a heck of a lot of open rooms. So, so wrestling fans, get it together. What are you doing?
Hey, you know what? They could have sweetened the pot. Hey, proof of vaccination, you get that extra stimulus check.
Yeah,
or something like that.
I'll tell you what.
Easily bribable.
Here's what I will do. Just throwing this out here.
Yeah, I'm catching it.
Proof of vaccination, and I think we should give like a discounted rate on something. I don't know what it is. It started out in my mind like I was about to give something really cool away.
All right.
But I'm not going to. Oh, hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. This is what we'll do. Meanie, if you agree with this. Where is it? I don't know. It's all the way over there. The signed concept art. If you show proof of vaccination, we'll enter you into a raffle to win a free concept. No, we're not doing this. Just get vaccinated because you don't want to get sick and make other people sick. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the sleep talking.
Dude,
like,
I am so tired.
Dude, same here. I feel like we're like doing an NPR show right now. Just like
sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls.
No, you know what? I'm really tired, and I don't know if it's a pollen count situation or whatever.
Tis the season.
Allergies are killing me. And then we had a tree that died that we had to get taken down. And they're like cutting the tree today. And the guy goes, he's like, yeah, he's like, this stuff, it would make a monster of a man drop to his knees and vomit. And I was like, oh, that's a visual. But what he's saying is he's like, all this becomes airborne. As soon as they cut it, it all becomes airborne. And I'm like, listen, we just got through this whole airborne crap. I can't, but pretty much.
Here, M. Night Shyamalan.
I know, yeah.
It sounds like a plot for an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah. Which, hey.
I think this was where the planets just started killing people and shit.
I don't know, but I know that he filmed around here for a lot of his movies.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's a proud Philly homer.
Yeah.
I dare him to follow me on fucking Twitter.
Asshole.
Oh, dude. Dude, I legit get mad when like I follow somebody that like is either, big Philly or a fellow wrestler, and I'm like, didn't follow me back. Unfollow.
Hey, can I talk to you
I'll show them.
Can I talk to you a little bit since this is therapy for us here?
Oh my God, I could use some.
So I saw this great thing, kayfabe news, insulting Dave Meltzer's I guess
my God.
hoarder's home.
Oh my God. I thought my place was bad.
Holy shit, man. That is not okay. Like, look, and I don't mean this to make any form of light of anything. Meltzer clearly, there's something different about him. Like he definitely has some social things different than the quote unquote social norm, I guess I would say. Like you can just kind of tell from interacting with him or seeing him interact with other people that he seems to like, he's eccentric, I think is what I'm trying to say. Like, and look, a lot of people who have very creative minds don't tend to be overly clean, or tidy in that regard.
Yeah. I'm a fucking genius.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to say it in a nice way that, but the dude is just like, that's not right. Like, that's not, the issue isn't so much that that's how he keeps his home. The issue is that he knew who was coming into his home to film his home and thought, that looks good. But that's not even
I would be so embarrassed.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Look, I don't let people into my house because it's just like, my joke is a burglar will try to break into my house and go, oh, look, wow, shit, looks like somebody beat us to it. Let's leave. Just shit, my place looks like it's been fucking ransacked. That place, my God.
Mine looks like I've got 3 kids. That's basically.
I should go through because I got a buddy, not willed it to me. He just gave it to me. I got like a shitload of old observers in my basement. I should just go see if there's like a Meltzer footprint on there or something.
Just throw that shit on the floor, man.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
The final piece of DeMeanie Studios. It's the observers. But here's the thing. I'm having like a real issue with this because I posted that and people are liking it. People are digging the humor of it. And I now, because of my thing on my show, I get tagged in a lot of anti-Meltzer stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
The problem is I've created this life for myself of satire and sarcasm and all of these things. But believe it or not, and this is going to sound like complete BS, I hate negativity. And I hate, what's the term? I don't know. I can't stand it. It brings me down. It sucks me in, you know?
Yeah.
And so I went through and unfollowed a lot of people on Twitter that were not following me. I didn't unfollow people who were following me back, because that just seems rude. But there are some people I muted. But then I've got this like really tough, like, because I do my show and have to be up on the news to talk about it and have to find the one thing that I can poke fun at. I have to be paying attention to all of this crap that I really don't want to pay any attention to. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but do you struggle with this, Meanie? Like, because you're a positive, upbeat person who I know can get dragged down in that same way. Like, do you find struggle in this? And what do you do? How do you exist in the world you have to exist in? Right? Because you have to. Yeah. We all do. We all have to exist in this negative cesspool of social media and all of that. How do you not just get lost in the negativity? Because I have been feeling the last couple of weeks, really since I kind of this is the annoying thing too. I kind of got my name out on the map because I took a shot at Meltzer and it went quasi-viral.
Yeah.
And which I'm really grateful for, and everyone who supported me. But then I'm just kind of like, well, now I felt like here comes the next month. Well, I got to do another thing about Meltzer. Here's the next one. I am done. I don't want to talk about him anymore, which I understand the irony of the fact that I literally just brought it up and started insulting his room. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
How could you?
Back in the day, like back in the early days of my days on social media, I would just like try to be funny and witty, and be like an online comic, and people would get mad, and I wouldn't, fuck it, be honest, sense of humor, blah, blah, blah. But then like it's just I realized, man, it's kind of weird. Like, and then I would see other wrestlers thinking I was being serious, and he's talking shit. It's like, no, I'm just trying to be funny. And then, I try to tone it down, and, I try to be more positive online, and it's hard. It's hard. And it's like, I find myself writing out a tweet, and then reading it and then go, man, do I really want and I just play out every reaction in my head that I know I'm going to get back, Like, the one that keeps replaying in my head over and over again is like, there was something about, death matches or something. And I was like, man, I said, man, I really wish they wouldn't do it. And somebody was like, oh, look at the guy from ECW. Yeah. I was like, well, yeah, I was in ECW. How do you think I formed that opinion? I saw what it did to Balls Mahoney. I saw what it did to Axl Rotten, how they wish they hadn't done it. And if I can, talk to a younger guy and say, hey, man, learn to work and, work harder, work smarter, not harder. There's ways to work.
I feel like I was going to, did you see on AEW to get a chance yet to, I know you're a busy dude, but did you get a chance to see the Moxley match?
Nah.
Against, what's his name? Japanese legend. And man, if Meltzer didn't hate me before, but I'm like, I think it's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't want to say it because I feel like I'm going to say the wrong name, but regardless.
Well, you fucked up Gatter. So,
oh God, dude, this whole this entire show, like I would think like, well, I'll just edit this stuff out. But then people are gonna be like, why was Mind of the Meanie only 2 minutes this week? But no, the match that Moxie had, like, it was for the New Japan Pro Wrestling United States Championship. And
wasn't Eugene? I'm going to sound
Yuji
stupid.
Nagata.
Okay, was it
Right?
Yuji
Wasn't
Nagata?
it Yuji Nagata?
Yuji Nagata, maybe. Yeah.
But Nagata, thank you. Sean Jones now. There's a delay on here. So, yes, Yuji Nagata.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
100% Nagata. And that's what I was going to say, too.
Sean Jones.
And if it would have been like Okada, but if it would have been Okada, we would have been able to hear Meltzer's completion from all the way over on the East Coast. So, what did I say? I don't want to.
Howling at the moon. Yeah. Howling at the moon with his gigantic tongue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I do that on camera?
Slichter.
But at least but mine wasn't natural. Mine was me making a choice to do it. His, what the? But anyway, my example was I watched that match and did not enjoy it at all. Not at all. And was going.
Can I be quite frank? It's just hard to watch wrestling now. It just is.
Yeah, I mean, AEW is getting easier because they're getting more and more people in the stands. And I think AEW puts on a great show. I really do. But that match did nothing for me. Don't care for the style. I don't care the lack of psychology, the lack of selling. You know, it's not my cup of tea. And I was going to write a tweet about how, you know, the old proverbial unpopular opinion, but didn't like the match. And I said to myself, you know what? Who gives a shit what my opinion is? Like, I barely even care what my opinion is, let alone, you know, the people on Twitter. And B, let's say you loved the match. Well, who the fuck am I to tell you that what you loved was wrong? And I didn't send
I'm
the
at
message.
that point in my life too.
Yeah, like you have to be at a point where you realize, like, and not the same as what you were saying though about the deathmatch thing, where you formed an opinion based on what you saw and are worried about people's health and looking at it going, I know how badly this is going to end for you. I wish you wouldn't do it. That's not the same as me going, I don't like this style of wrestling, therefore I need to make sure all of you know I don't like it. And if you do like it, I need to make sure to bring you down a peg or two. Who cares? I hope that I'm the only person who didn't like that. Because A, that means they did their job and they entertained the masses. And B, that means significantly more people who tuned in on that to AEW enjoyed that segment than didn't enjoy the segment. So I guess I'm bringing this up, and I don't know why, because I told myself I wasn't going to talk as much today. But I'm a little loopy, and you know my allergy medication. But no, I just wanted to throw that out that like I'm getting so sick of being negative, and I feel like what used to be sarcasm and used to be fun, is now just negativity, because I can't even like poke fun at things that and people not take it seriously, that everybody takes it so seriously. Like and I understand I'm being a hypocrite from so many things that I've said in the past, and so like, but I'm telling you, I'm like reflecting every day. I'm like reflecting on things, and social media, I hate it. I just hate social media, except for when people are posting awesome pictures of Archella toys. That's freaking-tastic, and I love it, and keep it up. It is so cool. But anyway, I'll let you retort, dude, and then we can move on to me not talking.
I'm at the same point, man. It's just like like I was saying, I'll write out a tweet, and this is like something I think will be funny and engaging, and hopefully, you know, people interact with it. And then I'm just like, I think, man, every possible reply, you know, plays in my head. I go, maybe I'll just delete this. But yeah, man, it's just hard to watch wrestling now. It's just like, and just forget the fan aspect. It's just hard in general. It's just like,
Why?
It's like
For you,
I don't
like,
know.
why-
There's nothing really that's got me emotionally invested. Really, I missed the days where I felt like I had to watch it, or it felt like wrestling felt like a limb. Like if I didn't watch it, I was missing a limb, kind of thing. Like, man, what's wrong with me? I still watch wrestling. I still watch I've been watching all the documentaries and stuff like that, and waxing poetic for the good old days. But there's nothing new that's just makes me go, I mean, I love stuff like Danhausen.
Oh,
That guy's brilliant.
how can you not?
Dude, he is just so funny. Yeah, he's entertaining. That one guy has created this following and character that is so engaging and entertaining. And he's great, at improv,
And now he's been getting all these opportunities to show up out of character, but I love how he still plays it off as though he was given so much of the human monies that they made him put on his human makeup and act like a person.
Yeah, I saw one where he said it was CGI and a voice alteration.
Yeah, to make it.
But that dude's great. And I wish there was a lot more like that. It's just,
I hope he's making money.
I
A
would
lot.
think so.
I know he's making money, but you look at him and you look at a guy like that and you wonder how much less is he making than somebody who is definitely not the talk of the internet in the same way, because he puts out a funny, thing on Twitter that doesn't always equal money, and I look at somebody like that and I go man, I hope that he has found a way to monetize his creative nature. I mean, look, it got him a deal with Ring of Honor, from what I understand, and
he's got pro wrestling tees. He's got
so I hope
Patreon.
he's got a figure coming out with Zombie Sailor Toys,
Amazing.
which is going to be awesome. Those figures look. Listen, I'm a homer for Cella Toys.
Oh yeah,
but Hasbro is my thing. The old Hasbro WWF figures, and they got Ron Rudat, the guy who drew all of the concept art for the original Hasbros, every single one of them. He's the guy who's drawing all of the faces and heels or whatever they're.
I'm definitely getting the Sabu one, man. I definitely gotta get that Sabu one.
Oh God, yeah, the Sabu one looks amazing.
Yeah,
they all do. They all look amazing. I feel like I want to grab the Dino Bravo and throw. I'm waiting to see how these fit in. I've heard people describe how the Cella Toys ones fit in really nicely with the retro, with the Mattel retros and the Hasbros. But in a way, they almost have their own personality, which I also love. They're their own type of thing. And they kind of almost remind me of the old WCW Galoobs mixed with Hasbros.
Yes.
Which is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about them at all. I think they look amazing. But
That's
I'm
a funny
curious,
word, Galoob.
I'm curious, though. These ones look very much like they are straight up supposed to seamlessly sit in with your Hasbros. That Dino Bravo should sit with a Hasbro, and you should just not know that it was,
Yeah, that's another, getting back to
we cracked these?
wrestling is please.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh my God. I got my,
I'm getting thirsty.
Ugly.
Very
I'm
nice.
ugly cherry.
I got, pop that thing. I got orange pineapple from Wegmans.
Nice.
Oh God,
Go Birds.
that was an intense one.
There's actually seltzer in there, right?
Mm-hmm. No, this one might. Yeah, take an eye out.
This might be a 2 seltzer show. Mrs. Meanie brought one up for me, so
Sweet.
But
Oh, bless you.
thank you, dude. A guy like Dino Bravo, I didn't hate him, but he really did nothing for me. But I still watched religiously, wrestling, back then and stuff like that. Even when they were having jobber squash matches, I watched religiously. You would have a vignette of a wrestler coming soon, or interviews, during the matches and stuff like that, or witty stuff on commentary, witty banter back and forth, between the Brain and, Gorilla, stuff like that. I just missed that. I wish there was I wish there was something that I really haven't had, something light a spark in me since like I'm sure there's been something more recently, but I remember when CM Punk, did the pipe bomb promo, and just, I didn't see it live, but watching the reaction, I was like, oh man, let me go watch this live. And I saw it and I was like, holy shit, that was so good. And then like the whole storyline just felt so real,
I wish they would have dragged that out for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, I just wish it would have, because they dragged it out for what, a week and a half?
They should have let Punk win the belt and legit go to every promotion.
Should have let him go take bookings. Right. Go to Ring of Honor, go to whatever.
Go to Ring of, oh my God. And, it's not like they don't have like a guy like Brock Lesnar come in and win the belt and disappear off TV for a while,
He should have been running around with that belt everywhere. They should have done, which is exactly what they did, where they had, I think it was Rey Mysterio, I want to say, won the WWE title. They crowned a new champion, and then immediately following, CM Punk's music hit, if I'm remembering this correctly. And he was back, and now you've got champion versus champion. They should have just gone about their business with him just showing up occasionally to wherever, posting stuff on social media, doing whatever.
He could have done the Brian Pillman thing, show up in the crowd with the belt. Security chases him out the front door.
Whatever he wanted to do. And then you have a big build-up where we're like, we've got, God, even if you dragged it all the way to post-Royal Rumble, where the winner of the Royal Rumble gets to decide who they're going to face, which champion or whatever.
Have him defend the WWE belt in the most ludicrous fucking of spots. Show up at a random indie show in a car lot. Defend the WWE belt. And you're posting this, to social media, and, he could post it to his own, like, YouTube, and then, like, WWE could pretend that, like, well, over on CM Punk's YouTube, this happened, kind of like,
Let them continuously be like, that is, it is very important that we make sure you understand that is not the WWE championship. He is not the WWE champion. Like, keep on that
have Jerry McDevitt come on TV and
because
issue
every
a statement.
Single person is then going to be like, well, no, screw you. He is the WWE champion. He's our WWE champion, all that. And then when he comes back, huge.
Dude, he could have been like the Pied Piper, just leading all the wrestling fans, and he could have been Rocky Balboa, run down the streets of Chicago, with a group of fans, just being I'm the real world champion. I'm the best in the world. I'm the best wrestling world champion in the world, or whatever. He could have just, because he could have come up with a million different things. I mean, dude, just the fact that he took the photo of the belt in his fridge.
Yep.
And, that was like one of the most copied things ever, just photo in the fridge. There's so much they could have done, and they fucking pissed it away. Yeah, they could have drawn that out for 6 months.
Everything lately that they've done. In the
last
few years, how many years ago?
We live in a world where it's a microwave mentality, and people want results now. Letting something marinate.
Yeah.
And, having the final meal be this perfectly seasoned blow off, you get this fucking ramen noodle shit, served up with, like a splash of sriracha in it,
Yeah, it's a shame. But to me, like, I also feel like every company out there thinks like, okay, if we're going to be different than WWE, then we need to be real. And it's like, no, you don't necessarily have to be. You know what's missing? And we've talked about this on the show before, and I know I've had this conversation with Fred before. Like, what's missing from wrestling is that, like you said, back when it was just jobbers against like Dino Bravo or something, like you didn't miss anything.
Right.
Sometimes
I felt I had to watch it.
Stop being what you're not and just be what you are. Just be pro wrestling, be sports entertainment, be whatever it is, but stop. Like, my biggest critique with WWE is that they don't know who they are. Or at least AEW, like it or not, they know who they are. And they try to cater to who they are. And the only time things go poorly is when they stray from who they are. But WWE, who are you? You family oriented? Well, then try and explain away some of these storylines you've had over the last couple years. You know, like
just be you. Be the. You know, I've railed on I've said stuff about TNA, and somebody took a snippet of what I said and had to run with it. But TNA could have been so awesome until I loved them up until they tried to have their own.
Till they
Monday
tried
Night
to be
War.
WWF or WWE.
And now look, I love AEW. I don't hate it. I'm not gonna make fun of it, but dude, they just tried to redo the Steve Austin beer truck thing with the fire hose, and then the Christopher Daniels match right before they hit him with the super kick. Just I'm sorry, I love you. It's just like for a company that says makes. It's like when AEW was first coming out, I was like, man, this is awesome. We're going to have American New Japan. You're going to get all the New Japan guys in America. It's going to be the American version of New Japan.
It's going to be wrestling. It's going to be pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling, action. The action in the ring is going to speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, and you know what? That first was an all-in event. Where Cody, took the sledgehammer to the throne.
Oh,
that was an
amazing. I think was that Double or Nothing, maybe?
I'm not sure. I'm sure Sean Jones could save us.
Yeah, it was Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. Okay, even with that was an awesome statement. You said your statement on the birth of your for your company's pay-per-view there. You fired the bow across the cannon shot across the bow, but now. It seems like every other weekend or every other week, there's like jabs at WWE. It's just like, man, it's so unnecessary. Or there's
especially to take the jab at the "I'm sorry, I love you" thing, or
I didn't even watch it live. I just saw a meme of it, and here's another thing. I don't need to watch the show because Twitter tells me what they're doing.
Yeah,
how about that? And I saw that. I was like, oh my god. I love the Young Bucks, but come on, man, come on.
I just, to me, I just feel like why would you try and be lesser than, like, don't copy the beer truck thing if you're gonna be the cheaper version, and yeah. I'm a little distracted.
Yeah, I'm a little distracted too. I got a text.
I think it's the same thing that I just saw.
News?
Yeah. And it kind of caught me in the middle of my talking there and distracted me.
Hold on.
I was trying to confirm it. I didn't want to say anything, especially to you, unless I could confirm it. So, and if it
shit.
Real?
Yeah. According to PW Insider, Jerome Young, New Jack, has died.
Do you want to take a minute? I know we're...
Man. Wow. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's official. It's PW Insider. It's a fucking shame. Love you, Jack.
Oh. Well, Meanie, I think I can speak on behalf of everybody when I say I'm sorry to, like, not something that you want to have to experience. And if you want to cut any of this out, we can cut whatever you want out of this.
No. Nope. This is real life. This is something real. And something I'm just processing in real time. So, no.
I saw it pop up. It was Sean Jones, one of our Patreon members, put it in one of the comments.
Mm-hmm.
I did not want to, he put on here not fully confirmed in all caps, letting us know. As I didn't want to say anything, I didn't want to speculate. And then he said that Pro Wrestling Insider's the source. Well, hey, you know what? Hopefully we find out that this is not true. We're still waiting to hear some stuff here, get some more confirmation.
I'm opening up PW Insider. I got the Elite account. Let me see. Oh, fuck. Make me log in. God damn it. Let's see.
The word going around is that he suffered a heart attack at the age of 58.
Yeah. I'm glad he got to tell his story with, Dark Side. I'm glad
did he get to tell his story? That was told his way.
Yeah.
Which is nice, especially we've talked about, the Macho Man biography piece and things like that. And when things are told us, Dark Side, they do an incredible job as it is, but it's really nice. You knew that had that man's stamp of approval on the way that it was presented. New Jack, man.
Guy did things his way. He might have been controversial, and he might have said things some people took offense to, and it's understandable, respectable. But you got talk about things that made you think wrestling was real. You look at New Jack, and you knew it was real. Yep. He was the real deal, and we were just talking about him the other day. Friend was in town from California. Me and my buddy Sebastian and Tracy went to see our buddy Jeff. And we're talking about how one day we were going to Bruce Pritchard's show at the TLA with Conrad, and we went to the Oregon Diner before the show because that's what you do before wrestling in South Philly. And Tracy was going to the bathroom, and she just randomly, she saw New Jack at the fucking counter eating breakfast. She's like, Mr. Jack, I know you. Because she changes her look so much, I was like, oh, yeah, where's Meanie at? And came over and had a hug and stuff. Oh, man, I got so many stories with Jack and stuff like that. A guy who legit could have easily taken advantage of me because you see everything with the mass transit incident. Mm-hmm. And here I am in the ring, an overweight greenhorn, and he took care of me and he protected me. And it's going to take a bit to process.
This isn't something you should have to process live on the air. So again, if you want to take a minute or you want to,
dude, this is life. This is this is it.
Well, everybody who's here joining us on Patreon, they're all sending their condolences to you. They're all saying, because they all know that you've told some great New Jack stories on here in the past. So everybody listening knows what you think of him and the friendship that you have with him. So,
yeah, now the texts are coming in.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's a
No.
Put a positive on things. What's a fun New Jack story maybe you haven't told us?
Oh my God. Dude, I was just telling that's not a positive story.
Okay.
Which
What's
had
a
Austin.
terrible, yeah. There's the story I know about about his kid, right?
One time, Jack comes up to me in the ECW locker room and goes, I got heat with you, Meanie. Oh, shit. What the fuck? I'm dead. Right? I start doing the Peter Griffin slow, take the step backwards, or the Homer Simpson in the bushes. Yep. So my daughter comes up to me and says, Daddy, I want something for show and tell. She goes, I ain't no thing. I give her, one of my 8x10s or one of my matches, and she takes it in for show and tell. She goes, "Nuh-uh, Daddy, I don't want you. I want the Blue Meanie. I want that motherfucking Meanie." So I gave him an 8x10 and one of my ring worn shirts.
Hand it to him. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, dude. Please, Mr. Jack, don't shiv me. But that's the thing. I've said this before with Joel Gertner. We were talking about Sandman. I was like, look, I speak fluent in Sandman. I also spoke fluent in New Jack. Me and Jack could talk and just be cool and have an understanding. And, we got along. And there's even one time where we kind of had a beef. And, we had 3PW, and we're going to book New Jack against Bam Bam Bigelow. New Jack missed his flight. Apparently, somebody saw him at the airport, and he didn't show up for the match. And Bigelow took it personal, thinking that, Jack didn't want to work with Bigelow because of whatever happened at WrestlePalooza where, New Jack got knocked out and Bigelow had to carry, Jack and all that stuff. Or it was an accident, whatever. And then Bigelow that night goes out in the ring and says, something about New Jack. So then me and Jack have and this is for social media. This is on our website bullshit, or message board bullshit. And I was like, man, that's disappointing. But then we both did a show at the arena for, I want to say Pro Wrestling Unplugged, local indie. And like, hey, what's up, Jay? What's up, Meanie? He's like, we cool? I was like, we're cool. And we just hugged, and that was it. And no, come to blows or anything like that. Because I know New Jack and Balls had a falling out. And I saw them have a physical altercation that was a shoot. And it was very scary. And I'm just glad that wasn't me and Jack. So me and Jack had this understanding. We had this friendship. We had this bond. He reached out to me recently during the pandemic, asking me about Cameo and stuff like that. And, he wanted to do, try to do some kind of virtual meet and greets where it's me and him kind of thing, like a Farley and Spade type thing. I'd be Chris Farley, he'd be David Spade or whatever, And it's back and forth, man. I wish we could have done something, but and this fucking sucks.
I'm trying to. I'm looking through, hoping I'm gonna see either more confirmation from a trusted source. Not saying I'm not saying that's not a trusted source. I'm saying additional confirmation from a trusted source, or something to say it was wrong. And man. I will say this, and it's going to sound weird. I'm saddened, but I'm not shocked. I'm sad. I'm sad my friend's gone. But dude ran with the devil. Yeah. if I could bring a Van Halen reference into this, he lived life. He enjoyed life. I'm glad I got to share things with him. I mean, there was times in downtime me and him would hang out. He'd have a random person's car. And, you want to hang out? Yeah, let's hang out. We just drive around Philly, and it was just it's like that scene out of Beyond the Mat where him and Barry Bloom or Barry Blaustein's driving around in a convertible, all happy and stuff like that.
But it's just me and Jack, like, and stuff like that. I remember we went to Atlanta for might have been WrestlePalooza, and Jack's from Atlanta. I'm like, Jack, where's there to go? And I had, they were having some kind of music festival downtown, and me and my girlfriend at the time, I was like, oh, the Foo Fighters are playing. Let's go see the Foo Fighters. Like, nah, I mean, you don't want to go there. And he sent me to some place. It was such a rib. It was such the hood. And it was like that scene out of Animal House where they walk in and the record skips. And everybody just looks. And again, we do the Peter Griffin, Homer Simpson back into the elevator. Yeah. Where do we park? Oh man! And I saw him next day. I was like, "You motherfucker!" He would just he there was no I looked at him. I went, "You son of a bitch!" And he just laughed because he knew he fucking sent my ass to a social gathering where I did not fit. But nah, Jack, dude, man, God love you. I love you to death, dude.
I had an opportunity to meet him. I had met him once just as a fan. Had an opportunity to meet him at a show that I was doing commentary for, and maybe 2 years ago. And he was there. I went up, shook his hand. Very nice, polite. He had a camera crew with him filming things. Filming kind of like a documentary on him. Not Dark Side, but it was something else.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm doing commentary and they said something. They're like, yeah, Jack's going to get into the ring at some point. Can't really do very much, but he'll do something. That man
really didn't need to do much,
Yeah.
With it.
No, but that man, he went in there. Basically, I think like the rule was like, don't really like touch him, like let him do something, but don't,
Yeah.
But he got in there. He had different ideas in mind. He was trying to get people to, had somebody come attack him from behind and do it like he, still wanted to be involved. And for me, as a huge ECW fan and a fan of New Jack, to have that opportunity to have, they were playing his music and it's going the entire time that he's in there.
It's
And
like a movie.
And to be able to just call the action of what was happening while he's there with that music playing in the background was, those are the like highlights for me in my career. And, but I'll never, you couldn't grow up an ECW fan and have a bad memory of New Jack. God, even the mass transit thing as a fan, that gave you something to talk about for a while, like that was.
I know he was vilified for that, and what he did was vicious. But, it was fucked up, but it's kind of like, jumping into a tiger cage and wondering what happens when that tiger goes tiger.
Yep.
That it's like, to paraphrase Chris Rock, who talked about Royd from Siegfried and Royd biting the guy in the face. Yeah. What do you expect? He was a fucking tiger.
Yeah, you put your head in the tiger's mouth. Then you're shocked when the tiger bites.
He asked New Jack to cut him.
Yeah. I think that's look.
And that was the first thing I was taught as a wrestler from Al.
You don't let somebody else.
Don't let anybody else. Only your comfort level of depth.
Yep. I think we all know that. I don't think that's anybody's comfort level. What happened there?
Well,
yeah. Look, it's. That's what.
If you're going to have somebody cut, look at their forehead first.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. You
got to look at what they gauge appropriate. But look, I think Dark Side, like I said, when he got to tell his story, his way on Dark Side of the Ring, this is not a guy who was asking people to look at, oh, I'm so misunderstood. No, he was an open book. He was who he was. And, you can't sit here and pretend he was some saint who did, and honestly, if you sat here and you tried to do that, he'd probably be the first one to smack you in the mouth and go, the fuck are you talking about? That's not me. That's not who I am. Yeah. But he had a code.
He was a rebel.
Yeah. He had a code that he lived by. You could tell from that interview.
For everything people, you look at a Bruiser Brody, you look at an original Sheik. The outlaws. Look at these outlaws who just did their thing and were over. And no way you can bury them, because they did things their way. And, or look at Sabu. I mean, he's a carbon copy of the Sheik, in his ways, where he'll say things you might not agree with, or he'll say things to get a reaction that he might not mean, or probably doesn't mean, but hey, right or wrong, so you're talking about, you look at the mass transit incident. It was horrific. I saw it as it happened with my own eyes, and then watched it again on the RF video camera that night, because we stayed at Gabe's house that night, and I was like, dude, let me look at that footage again. I was like, holy shit. And but New Jack was him. That's. They say the best characters are those, where your own personality turn up to 11. He was already on 11. So, God bless you, man. God bless you, Jack. I'm not a religious person, but God bless you, man. You looked out for me. You took care of me. You easily could have gave me the mass transit treatment. You could easily give me the Chad Austin treatment, but he took care of me, man. And he looked out for me. Like, there's times where he thought supposedly somebody was just like saying something about me, and he came to me and was like, and he defended me on a couple times. Guys were killing themselves to get over, and I would just go out there and dance, and sometimes people get a little angry that I kind of had an easy gig, but that was the gig I was given, He's like, fuck y'all. Let Meanie be Meanie, it's just shit like that. Just, he stuck up for me, Word got back to me that he stuck up for me, and he always looked out for me. So, and he's always protected me when we were in the ring, and he always gave me the option if there's something I didn't want to do, tell him, like with the staple gun shit and stuff like that, and he gimmicked it in a way where it didn't hurt and stuff like that. When I went back the second time, I was the skinny guy, skinny meanie. But, yeah, man. It's fucking horrible.
It's
saddened, but not shocked.
Yeah. Too young. But again, look, you're talking about heart attack.
Yeah.
From a guy who did it his way, man. He lived his life.
My thoughts go out to his kids.
Take an opportunity. When you're listening to this, you'll be listening to this on a Monday. Take an opportunity to check out his Dark Side of the Ring from last season.
Blast some natural born killers tonight.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get fucking drunk tonight.
Yeah. Well, you're going to anyway, so you might as well.
I got a reason. If McCusker's was open, I'd be going right there. Anytime like something happens, like Harry Callis died. Right. Oh, we gotta go to McCusker's. If Eddie Van Halen died, like the day Van Halen died, I gotta go to McCusker's and just play. We'd just play Van Halen all night, or play Phillies things all night. Right now, if McCusker's was open right now, I would be live streaming from there right now, doing the rest of the show. But god damn, man, this sucks.
Yeah, this is not. Well, hey, I appreciate you staying on and.
What am I going to do? This is.
I don't think anybody would have blamed you to say, hey, let's cut for a little while. We can come back tomorrow, do the show.
No, and I appreciate that. But look, when we started this podcast, I wanted to be real as real can be. Share life events, be a companion piece. You, and our Patreon, the Pod Squads, are sitting here listening, and we all learn this together.
Yep.
We're having a moment. It's a moment. It's a fucked up moment. It's a sad moment, but it's a moment. And we gotta go on. Gotta keep doing it. I'll properly have a few feelings once this is over, and I start transferring the files over. But holy shit! I got a text from a couple of the ECW guys going, I heard New Jack died, and that's when I started looking up, and then I had a feeling you were reading the same thing I was reading. And
yeah, I know. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but I was responding to what you said while reading the thing, and just totally, I'm not even sure how much dead air there was. I'm trying to keep going on, and all my thought was why I don't want to bring this up to Meanie until I know for a fact. And then do I want to bring this up on air? Do I want to cut? And then, you...
nah, dude, leave it as it is, man. Yeah. Leave it as it is.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you being, this is, this
is real
like
life. Why can't
yeah, it's real life. It's part of that ECW family that you were lucky enough to be a part of, that we, the fans, were lucky enough to watch, and, anyone who's ever entertained by New Jack, man.
Fucking hard. Dude, he was in my thoughts a lot this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was telling the story the other night. We went to the diner and had dinner, and I was telling the story about Chad Austin. Tracy was talking about how we ran into New Jack at the Oregon Diner. And then I was thinking about the night, my banner went up in the arena for the Hardcore Hall of Fame, and he was there, and just different things. He was in my thoughts this week, and it's so weird. So weird.
You know what, though? Better to have somebody in your thoughts prior than just after. That speaks to the person.
And the George Carlin thing is my internal George Carlin goes back to so when somebody goes, I just saw him the other day, and well, it didn't fucking help. He still died. I was just thinking of New Jack this week. Well, it didn't fucking help. Maybe you killed him. Don't you feel guilty? Meanie killed New Jack.
Man.
Fuck, I killed Chris Cornell. He died on my birthday, so could have been worse. He could have died on my birthday.
I guess you can't argue that.
I'm an idiot. These are the things I do to try to distract myself that I'm really fucking bummed out right now.
I will tell you, I'm looking, you see on social media here, people posting pictures with people. I've always been of that mindset that you don't go up to wrestlers and ask to take a picture together and do stuff. And I've tried so hard to break that, because you see, as these things go on, you see these name wrestlers who are just like, God, man, I wish I would have taken a picture with this guy. I wish I would have taken a picture with that guy. And that's, I'm glad, hey, I have the memory. Nobody needs to see a picture of me and New Jack, but I have the memory of being able to work with him and or work adjacent to him. And, that was cool for me. And I think that, look, it's appreciate the talent that's out there now that's entertaining you. Yeah. That's what I would say to wrestling fans. We started this show I was talking about the negativity, the negativity in social media, the negativity in the world, negativity in the wrestling community and every community. Go, we're all a part of wrestling Twitter. Yeah. Go find some other Twitter. Go down that rabbit hole, and you're going to see the same damn messages, just with different names.
My phone's blowing up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
No. I understand completely. What I'm saying is everyone's negative. Everyone, we get all, we poke fun at Dave Meltzer or something. And, I got to tell you, and I don't mean this in any light, but your first thought, if you were to read something about any of the people we were just critiquing, your first thought is going to be to instantly forget the critiques and start thinking about the positives. And I wish that, if nothing else, maybe this happening on the air can be a lesson that, like, including a guy like a Meltzer, maybe just the way to be is just start looking at the positives of people while they're here, positives of, like, there's so much damn negativity. The way I look at it now is, like, you don't need to create negativity. You don't need to welcome that in because shit like this is going to happen and real life is going to rear its ugly head no matter how positive you want to be. So why the hell would you let stuff in that you can control? So, well, my thoughts are with, New Jack's family. My thoughts are with you and the ECW locker room and anybody who knew had the pleasure of working with him and us fans, man. He left a mark on us. That's for sure.
Dude, there was one time in ECW, New Jack was out, injured. So they were doing a thing with Danny Doring. He had his entourage. It was him, Equalizer, Mike Lazansky, and maybe Jack Victory. And he was having a match with, it might have been Jack Victory having a match with Tommy Dreamer. And then they're all ganging up on him. They're all beating up Dreamer. And, Danny Doring gets on the mic and says, I'm the greatest, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm the greatest dancer. And they hit my music. And me and Nova do the Gangstas entrance where they hit my music, which was Let Me Clear My Throat by DJ Cool. And we had the trash can full of plunder that, is normally reserved for New Jack. And me and Nova probably should have got together and said, okay, we'll both throw it over the top rope, or we'll both throw it over, through the two middle ropes. Well, he went to throw it over the top rope. I went to throw it through the two middle ropes, and we both hit the top rope. And all the plunder and all the weapons starts pouring down on the floor, and we're like, oh! And we're fucking like, I grab a crutch, slide in, while, Nova's throwing out in the rest of the weapons that poured out. And I go in, I duck a thing, hit Jack with the crutch, I hit this and that and the other thing, and we do the whole, basically the New Jack match with Dreamer and Nova. Well, now New Jack is out with an injury. He's on crutches, but he's up in the Eagle's Nest, right next to the hard cam. And we look up to him, and we give him the Gangsta X. We salute him. And, we go to the bag, and he comes down. He hobbles down the thing. He goes, "You motherfuckers made me fall out of my chair and laugh so hard." He's like, "Motherfucker, Meanie, only you could get away with a fuck up like that, and people think you meant it." He's like, he said, "Meanie, that was some entertaining shit." And then, we did that at the arena, and then the next week we're in Louisiana, and he brings it up again. And he's like, only the fucking Blue Meanie get away with fucking up his bot, and people go, "Oh, that's just Meanie," And somewhere what I'll do, I'll go up on social media and us doing the X for Jack. So me, Dreamer, and Nova. I got a gift of that on my phone somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do that tribute, but definitely gonna have a couple cocktails for him tonight. I'm grateful I got to have a couple cocktails with him. You know, there's one thing to hang out with somebody backstage or at a show. Plenty of times at the Travel Lodge. Plenty of times at the Holiday Inn on Packer Ave. One of the few hotels we weren't thrown out of. But good shit, man. Good dude. Very controversial, very misunderstood. But God bless him. I love him, man.
It seems inappropriate to go to an ad. So I'm just going to say, because we do have a responsibility to it, I will say manscaped.com. If you don't want to look like mass transit.
If you don't want your balls to look like New Jack's forehead.
There you go. I was trying not to say it, but you could say it.
I can say that.
You can say it. Go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code Meanie20. Save yourself 20% and get free shipping. We will thank you, and your balls will thank you. We have to, we have a responsibility to sponsor.
Do the read.
Yeah.
Do the read.
No, I think that's good. I think, we everybody knows, and, do it for your balls. Take care of yourself. Go to manscaped.com, promo code Meanie20, save 20%, get yourself some free shipping. And what do you think? You in the mood for a little Ask Meanie before we go home?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why don't we do that then?
It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
All right. I'll tell you what, we'll kick things off with Josh Shernoff at So Says Shernoff asks, Meanie, who prepared, you mentioned earlier in episode 60 of Mind of the Meanie, you mentioned the trash can that was normally reserved for New Jack. Who prepared the trash cans? Was that something where he was like, hey, I brought Nintendo, I'm going to throw that in there? Or did you guys have somebody? Was it kind of people just randomly throw crap in there? How did that, on average, how did that come about?
Fans brought it.
Well, no. I mean, when Jack would come to the ring with the trash can over his shoulder, and he had random crutches and crap like that.
They would just gather that shit at the door in the trash can, bring it in the back, and then...
so they would gather from fans? Like fans would bring random stuff?
Fans would legit bring weapons. I
don't know why that seems surprising to me. I mean, it's...
Yeah, fans legit brought weapons, and... they would thank you. They would gather him at the door and bring him in the back, and he would look at it like an artist looking at his paintbrushes or his palettes, But that was legit all fan brought. We didn't have the budget to go out look for random Nintendos and shit like that.
Mark and Dryden at Mark Matsuo asks a couple of questions here. First one, have either of you seen WWE's Get Vaccinated commercial? If so, any opinions on it?
I have not.
I have. It's one of they'll run it. It's basically, all the stars just clip after clip of like just encouraging to get vaccinated. Let's get back to life and stuff. My opinion is get vaccinated. Why not? Everybody's instantly suspicious of why WWE does things one way or the other. Are they doing it because they want to get back to having fans? Yes. Is there anything wrong with that? No. Get vaccinated. That's his other question. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
It reminds me of Bill Hicks had this thing where he's talking about, Judas Priest got sued for having subliminal lyrics, in their songs, and they're like, these songs told them, their fans, to kill themselves. And Bill Hicks is like, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but who wants their fans dead? And it makes me think of that because, WWE wants their fans to be alive, because,
because they're a business.
You're a business. You need fans. Yeah. So yeah, it just seems like common sense.
Mark and Dryden also asks, are Sean Oliver and the RF Video Group forerunners of wrestling podcasts, or am I way off on this?
No, Sean Oliver's a way better recorded version. You could easily just take the audio from his show and make it a podcast.
I mean, in essence, what he's asking is, were shoot interviews the precursor to podcasts?
In a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not off base to think that. Yeah. Some are done with good intentions, and some are done to vent or further a beef, so to speak.
What was
I don't
that
know
sound?
if that noise. What's that?
Yeah, what was that sound?
Your computer virus thing, thingamajig.
Oh,
Fuck you,
happens.
McAfee. Suck it.
Oh, man. Here's one. Andy Slichter. Are the 93 Phillies the only sports team that could possibly be a wrestling promotion with the amount of characters on that team?
Dude, I wrote an article for Sports Illustrated comparing the 93 Phillies to ECW. And
Yeah?
I broke down each Phillies player and who they were.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of that?
I have it. Yeah. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's
Maybe we can put that up
it
on
was for-
Patreon.
We will.
I guess for me and Slichter, I don't know if anyone else cares about the 93 Phillies, but
I won't do it off the top. I can't do it off the top of my head, but I broke down who was who. Like Shane Douglas was Kurt Schilling, and Lance Storm was Jim Eisenreich, shit like that.
who was
John
Darren
Kruk was
Dalton.
John Kruk was Balls Mahoney.
There's a wink and a nod in that one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Was that the intention or no?
No.
No.
No, the big bearded guy with long hair, and just there's that story of Harry Callis going up to John Kruk. John Kruk, for those who don't know, after the 93 season, had testicular cancer, had treatment, and he came back. And it was his first game back. And I'm going to fuck up the joke. He's like, I want you to take it. Please take it. Swing at whatever. He's like, why? He's like, I want to say,
Oh yeah, I don't.
Here it just popped in my head. Harry Callis, the voice of God and the Philadelphia Phillies, said to John Kruk, please take a strike at the first thing, because I don't want to say John Kruk, no strikes, one ball. And John Kruk thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever.
It is.
John Kruk has told that story.
Yeah, I mean come on, that's fantastic.
John Kruk with no strikes, one ball.
What about, who did you compare to Mitch Williams, to the Wild Thing?
Oh my God, I have to look it up.
93. So 93, that was my
magic.
The height of my fan as a kid. Like, I remember us all sitting there watching the game with towels on our heads, kind of, just I remember that. I was like 10 or something. You were what were you, mid-30s or so? So like at that point in time, try to lighten the mood a little bit here.
I remember I was getting to a fist fight when they lost that World Series. I was working in the casinos.
Yeah.
There was this fucking jerk off, this fucking goof, who was rooting against the Phillies the whole entire time. And the Phillies against the Braves. Go Braves! And when they won, I was like, oh, okay, he'll stop. Go Toronto!
Yeah,
and then when he won, and when they won, he was such a goober. He was so weird. He was just like, yes, haha. And like, it wasn't like shtick. That's how he really talked. I was like, you motherfucker, I'm about to get into a fight starting my shift. Because like, we watched in the break room, because I worked the graveyard shift, midnight to 8. I was like, I'm about to get into a fight going, to work. So like, long story short, I quit there. I go to train, and then I moved back home for a little bit, and then I go to the casino just to do some gambling, and I run into some of the security guards I was working with, and they're like, yeah, so and so, he said something to somebody in the break room, and they just beat the fucking shit out of him. I was like, oh my god. They're like,
man.
He said something to somebody, and the person took it the wrong way, and they said they beat him so bad he looked like they had to wrap him up. He looked like the fucking mummy. I was like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, that 93. They didn't win the World Series, but man, just the fact they beat that Braves team, that fucking Braves team, that one might as well have just been the World Series right there.
Yeah,
that
was the moment.
Holy shit.
But then, Toronto, it's like, hey, listen, man, you're not even in our country. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say that of every single team in the continental United States,
fucking
the Phillies won. I'm just saying. I mean, again, it was the World Series. I understand.
All right.
But I'm just saying.
They should have kept Roger Mason in.
Name one other team in the 93 season that won over the Phillies. One other team in the United States.
Yeah.
Can't. That's all I'm saying. So as far as I'm concerned, World Series champions. Hey, shout out to Antonio Santos, brand new Patreon member. Welcome. Yeah, just got that notification. Very happy to have you here. And speaking of Patreon members, I do want to say there is now a hashtag Sorensen Blue Level t-shirt available on our Patreon. And James Sorensen, you will be getting your free shirt. But also, that reminds me. If you're listening to this and you're owed, I mean, we're going to try and reach out to you, but just to double check, if you are owed for being on Patreon at a specific tier, some of you are owed figures, and we want to get those out to you this week. So shoot us over a message on Patreon, and we'll make sure that we just make sure we have your address right and everything like that, and we'll send those on out to you.
Absolutely.
And for those of you who want to get figures and don't have that, go over to mindofthemeanie.com and get those figures. It's funny. I just thought about.
Grab them cakes.
I need to see. So speaking of figures, it popped into my head. I'm still thinking about New Jack.
Yeah.
New Jack had a figure that was from ECW that was highly sought after, and Brian Myers was looking for this thing for years. It was the no noose New Jack. So the New Jack figure originally came with a noose around his neck. And then there was the no noose New Jack, which for a long time people were just like, I don't think that really exists. There's like rumor.
Right.
Well, Brian Myers eventually got it. And
rumor and innuendo.
And Brian eventually got it. And I remember having like about a year. God, it must have been like 2 years ago at this point because it was pre-COVID. New Jack was going to be appearing at something. And I remember, so Brian had tried to get it signed. He needed to get it signed by New Jack. And he like sent it to a buddy or somebody that he knew who was going to go to some convention somewhere in a state far away from where Brian Myers was. And New Jack was booked. So he was going to go and he was going to get it signed and send it back to Brian. And then New Jack, for whatever reason, did not show up to the signing. He wasn't there. Man. So Brian gets the thing back. And then I reached out to him because I saw New Jack was supposed to be somewhere. And I was like, yeah, this is going to happen. Just find out if you know anybody in that area. My gut wants to tell me that he eventually got it signed. I'm almost positive he did, but I'm going to double check. I want to know. But if he did, that is so cool. And I know in the Dark Side of the Ring, you could see New Jack had those figures on his wall, hanging on his wall in there. And but now it made me think of that when I was talking about the figures. But yeah, I know that was the No Noose New Jack. Is a highly sought after figure, and I think somewhere on my collection here, I've got somewhere around here. I've got the New Jack figure from anybody that I've ever worked with or called a match for or done anything like that. I have their figure on display if I have a figure of them. But yeah, so I've got that somewhere.
And that's another bummer. I mean, he could have easily done something with Cella Toys, get a new figure or, get him in the video game or something. We could have done something.
Yeah. But, we are getting an Ask Meanie here from, I'm just going to read your handle so I don't screw this up. At Primetime Grape wants to know, what are your favorite New Jack stories?
Just there was an ECW show in Toronto, Canada, and we're all like, going into Canada, you worry about who's going to get across the border, and fucking New Jack shows up in the locker room. We're like, New Jack made it into Canada? New Jack made it into Canada? He's like, yeah, that fucking water was cold. As if he fucking swam. But
that's amazing.
Just everything. Like I remember one time I was like trying to think of new fucking ring music. Me and Nova were on our own. I was like, man, what's this song? And and it was like Apache by the Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah. But I'm like sitting there fucking trying to rap to fucking New Jack. I was like, it goes like this, and the Rapping Ranger and Hi-Ho Silver. He goes, oh, Apache, Sugar Hill Gang. We could have talked about anything, and we literally did. But my God, yeah. I even wrote a thing for his book. I wrote the forward to his biography. That was cool that he asked me to.
That's awesome. That speaks to the relationship there.
Yeah, we were totally a fucking Farley and Spade fucking duo, man. Just it's fucking crazy, man. It's just I'm still processing it. I wish I could find a photo of us doing the fucking X gimmick, but
hey,
that'd be the ultimate
Pod Squad on
tribute.
Patreon who's watching this right now. See if you guys can find it for Meanie.
I'm pretty sure Pro Wrestling Gifts has it.
Slide into his DMs. Hey, Ringside Rant, our good friend RJ Krasinski says, have either of you ever thought of starting an acting career or becoming a writer? So
I've starred in a couple movies, independently done, and if I'm going to write anything, I got to write my fucking book. It's something it's on my fucking list to do. I always had like I have friends who write movies, TV shows, all that shit. I have a constant show going on in my head. I constantly have like these mini arguments going on in my head. They're like, well, write them down. That could be good shit for a script.
You
never know. But by the time I remember to write it, it's dissipated.
For me, I actually had an acting career prior to getting back into wrestling. The week before I went to StarCast, the first StarCast, was kind of when I wrapped things up. I was nominated for an IAW TV award for Best Male Performance in a Comedy, alongside Don Rickles, which was kind of amazing. He had passed and was not there, but that was an awesome experience. Went out to LA on the red carpet. That was very cool. And I was nominated for my role in a show called Business as Usual, the BIZ, that started, it was, we did 60 episodes of that show. It started in 2008, ran for 4 seasons, and then I want to say 5 years later, came back and did another season. And I wrote 56 of the 60 episodes. and obviously kind of, was the creator of the show as well. That's how I was able to write so much. I mean, it was a web TV series. Originally, it was on the blip.tv network, which does not exist anymore. It was bought by Disney, but we were on that, and that all spawned from when I was doing stuff on the first season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where if you have a really good eye, you can catch me on 2 episodes of that, doing background work.
I was just thinking of that the other day because me and my friends were talking about the Blair Witch. I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Josh did an episode of Always Sunny with the girl from
the Blair Witch, yeah, which is so cool. I was a stand-in for Charlie Day, which means that they set the lights around me and then go, all right, stand-ins out, principal actors in, and then you switch places. But those guys asked me like, hey, you want to be in this scene? You want to be in that scene? I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. I had no idea that they were in charge. So I was just like, I was like, man, these actors, these no-name actors really have a lot of pull here on this little show. But I did. So I had a nice acting career. You can go to IMDb, type my name in, see all the crap that I've done. But and business as usual. Unfortunately, when blip.tv went away, we had to move everything over to YouTube. So we've got, some episodes look like they have like 1 view. So they were moved like years later. But yeah, if anyone ever cares or is interested, it was the most, champagne on a beer budget. This was like beer on a tap water budget. But we did the best we could, and I'm proud of what we did. If you put it in the perspective of that, it was 2008 and we had no experience. I'm very proud of season 5, the one that I got nominated for, and IAW TV is the International Academy of Web Television.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really cool, and it was a great experience. I think the show was funny at times. Some of the Talking with Friends people appeared in it. But it was cool. It was kind of like it was something that I had kind of wrapped up and wasn't really considering doing any more of. I was back and forth on what I wanted to do, and then found myself back in the wrestling business and said, you know what? I love doing this. So, but yeah, so that's the answer. As far as a writer, my brother is he's like an Amazon like #1 best-selling author and stuff. Like Fred is a great author. He does, it's like sci-fi something or another. He has a series, the Atlantic Island trilogy, and another book called The Traveler, which I love. But I don't know if Traveler as well, but I know the Atlantic Island series was actually, someone did that on audiobook. So there's an audiobook version of that as well. It's not him reading it, it's somebody else. Yeah. They got like an actor. But so yeah, as far as becoming a writer, that other than writing the TV stuff, writing like sitcoms versus writing anything else, I think is very different. Like it's same as like when you write music, like you can write a certain kind of music, but like I can write a certain kind of music, but there's a different genre. Doesn't matter if I could write 1,000 songs in one genre. The other one's just, a different language to me. So, writing's an incredible thing, but as far as writing books and stuff, that's Fred's department.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Fred Word.
Keep him busy. He's I know he's got he's working on an awesome idea of a book that's kind of like it's like half history, half like real history, and then half just like a fictional book. But he's working on something really cool.
That's awesome.
But here's maybe this will be
the coup de grace.
Yeah, the last question here. Jonathan Chambers writes, what do you guys think of having an off season in wrestling, kind of like MLW are doing now? I don't know if is MLW doing that, or was it an off season just because of COVID? I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar enough. Sorry, sorry, business daddy. MLW. Sorry, we don't watch the product.
Yeah. Like I said, it's been hard to watch wrestling in general. Yeah. But I enjoy MLW. I enjoy their product. I love Richard Holiday. I've pitched ideas to him. Hopefully he takes them up the ladder. But what they could do, instead of having an official off season, is just give guys off. Cycle guys out. Hey, go away for a couple months. Go and enjoy life. Take off. Give them a downside guarantee, like an off-season payday, and just let them come back feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. You know, back in the day, guys would leave a territory and go somewhere else, and by the time they came back to that territory, they were hot again. They were fresh again. If you just, give guys, 8 months on, 4 months off, and then that 4 months, somebody else commandeers the ship as far as matches go and stuff like that. It could be done. And the WWE doesn't have to stop its product. You're just giving people time off. If they could just give people time off. So when they go away and, as JR likes to says, recharge their batteries, that means a lot. You give somebody 4 months off just to fucking breathe and enjoy life. Enjoy the money they make. Let them enjoy the fruits of their labor, the spoils of their labor, whatever you want to fucking call it. They would be happier to come when they come back. Yep. You can do it, but it doesn't have to be called an off season. Just give people time off.
Cycle the talent.
Cycle them in, cycle them out. If you want to, let them have a reduced schedule, let them go overseas. Let them go to Japan for a week or two. Where the hardcore fans, the more smarter fans, the more casual fans, not the casual fans. The more sophisticated fans can watch them in Japan, and American fans will be like, "Where'd he go?" I'm not saying every American fan's like that, but not everybody follows both.
So the American fans are stupid, and the other ones are sophisticated.
Yeah,
man, I see the headline on Wrestling Inc.
I can see it right now.
For the next 6 weeks.
It's going to be on the fucking front page of my Google search.
Oh, man. No, I 100% agree and get what you're saying.
Yeah. Let them go have some fun.
Learn a new hold.
Well, cool. Bar.
Well, cool, man. That's that for Ask Meanie. We appreciate it. Look, episode 60 did not exactly go the way we originally thought it was going to. And I'm glad that it was able to become a somewhat of a tribute to New Jack. You're able to tell some fun stories. I wish that it hadn't, for a number of reasons, obviously.
I'm smiling, I'm laughing, but it's just thinking of New Jack. Like, there's a photo of New Jack in a kayak going down a river somewhere, like he was. There's so many fucking random things you could have done with New Jack and just out of character, and it would have been great. Yeah, that's the shame of it. I'm glad we kept in touch with him. I kept in touch with him and had some conversations with him during the pandemic. I gave, Evan and, the Dark Side his contact info to hook that up and stuff like that.
Hey, that's no small thing, man. That's
got a shout out in the credits. Yeah.
He's got a lasting legacy because of that show. It's going to go beyond anything, because Lord knows Peacock is going to be slicing and dicing that footage. So.
Yeah. But, thank you to our our patrons who shared this moment with us. And, those downloading on Monday who heard this a couple days ago. Yeah, this is rough. And like I said, I'm sure I'm about to go have a couple beers. And share some stories online.
And if you're going to go have a couple beers, definitely have one for New Jack. And, yeah, man, I don't really know how to end the show from here. I don't want to end the show on a down note. It's tough to not, but I think if anything, the old, that's a guy who lived his life his way by his rules. And, there's good or bad, there's a lesson in that somewhere. And
he was an outlaw. He was one of the last outlaws,
Yep. Well, thank you, Meanie, for
Well, thank you for allowing me to pay tribute to
of
a friend. A very cool friend, very misunderstood friend. But ultimately, he was my friend, and I love him.
If all of you would like to follow us here at Mind of the Meanie on social media, at Mind of the Meanie across all platforms. This was episode 60. We've been doing this for 60 weeks, and for 60 weeks, this has been the highlight of my week to be able to do this. Whether we're talking about good things or, occasionally we've had to talk about not so good things like today. And, we've built this great community where we've gotten to a point in the very beginning. I remember when Meanie and I were doing this on video for Patreon, and it was like at the end, we're like, that's so weird. People were watching us. And now, speaking for myself at least, I think, Meanie, you feel the same way. Now, it doesn't feel like it's just you and me yelling out into a void somewhere. We really feel like we've got, it's a room of us here. If anybody knows me in my personal life, you know that you could be in the room with me, and I'd probably be talking just about as much as I am now. Well, we appreciate all of you. We appreciate everybody who tunes in. Make sure to subscribe over to our YouTube, youtube.com/mindofthemeanie. And do us a favor, spread the word. Tell your friends about Mind of the Meanie. We have been lucky enough to be one of those podcasts that has consistently held our audience. And that means a lot to us. The fact that you're all still here, that a year later, we've got the same people tuning in. And of course we've got new people as well, but hey, the more the merrier. We want to keep building this thing. Sky's the limit. We got some really fun things planned. August 7th, Port Henry, New York. Don't miss it. We're going to be at the Gatter, the Brothers Gatter store. And we'll have more information on that, but it's going to be a blast. I said it the right way this time. And I did it, guys. I did it. Follow us as individuals. He's at Blue Meanie BWO. I'm at So Says Shernoff. Check out some of our great shirts, most of which were created by the one and only Andy Slichter. Over at ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. You can go to mine, ProWrestlingTees.com/So Says Shernoff. And of course, Meanie is ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie for all your BWO and Meanie needs. Cameo, cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. And I'm cameo.com/So Says Shernoff. And that's it for us here. Meanie, any last things you'd like to say to everybody, to the pod squad today?
Just to give a heads up to our fans. I know we kind of got sidetracked. Tomorrow's my birthday. Tuesday, May 18th. Over on our Pro Wrestling Tees at ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie and /Mind of the Meanie. We're having a birthday sale. So for my birthday, 20% off all Blue Meanie merchandise, Mind of the Meanie merchandise. Use promo code Meanie and save 20%.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think about doing a birthday sale on our action figures? 24 hours only.
You're the man.
Yeah. You know what? We're doing it. We're going to do it. Decided it right now. A Meanie birthday sale on Tuesday, May 18th for 24 hours. You can use the promo code Meanie20 and save 20%. That's promo code Meanie20 and save 20% on our action figures inside the U.S. But around the world, you can order from us at mindofthemeanie.com or mindofthemeanie.bigcartel.com. You can get that signed concept art because that's a hell of a lot cheaper to send. So you can order that from anywhere in the world. And I guess, you know what? Whatever. For one day only, 20% off that as well with promo code Meanie20. What do you think?
Fucking do it.
Oh,
yeah, that'd be awesome. No, that's a very generous gesture.
No, we'll take it out of your cut.
Shernoff.
But yeah, so hey, and happy birthday to the Blue Meanie. Happy birthday, Meanie. Another year around the sun. You changed my life for sure, and you've changed all of our lives here at the Pod Squad. We appreciate you, we love you, and we wish for many, many more happy birthdays for you. And I think that is as good a way as any to wrap this show up.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you to the Pod Squad. And thanks for making me feel special.
we try to make you feel blue in a good way.
Yeah. I see. You show me the numbers of how many people listen, and I'm utterly blown away and touched. So, yeah, thank you so much for making the show a reality to you, Josh, and to our listeners. So thank you. And thank you to the folks who are supporting us over on Patreon. So it means a lot.
It absolutely does. And it would mean a lot if you would join us again for episode 61, which comes to you next Monday, just like every episode that comes to you every Monday morning when we join you again for another trip into the mind of the Meanie.
Blue World Order. The world of MLW radio never stops.